Welcome back, ladies and gents, to FaceitTV with me, DD Cake, and Tosspot here for more FACEIT League. It's the last match here for the European clashes. We have LDLC up against Fnatic, and Fnatic, they've been looking quite good.
Yes, they have. They've, need this game to qualify. Having won their opening two, we did the math before. If they win this, they will qualify straight through. Don't know if we've got an updated league bracket, or I may have just sprung that on the producer who is thinking, oh crap, I got to update it. We'll do it after the game. So yeah, completely sprung it on him, and he probably hates me now, and he's probably putting a low overlay saying, what a dick, but no. Anyway, Fnatic looking really good. We're going to get straight, I think, into the knife round now. It's Cash, the only change that we've had tonight. Your thoughts on it?
Well, okay, so Cash is a map where LDLC have led the way with innovation for quite some time. They've not had the most consistent results in the world, and teams like Titan have had the formula to kind of break them, but LDLC have always been like a massive struggle for pretty much everybody that they have faced here. So I would be predicting an immensely close match. Fnatic, they're just consistent. They're completely solid. They are the team to beat. So LDLC. Oh, we're actually going to see the odds. And
it's
wow,
unsurprising to see Fnatic that much favored in the form they're in.
That's actually that's pretty heavy favor there for the Swedes. And the French sides have yet to win today against the Swedes.
That's
so
true.
this is for some French pride.
It is. For your money, though, do you see that happening?
I absolutely think that LDLC can do this. Definitely, I would say personally it's like 60-40 in favor of Fnatic. I do believe Fnatic has the edge just because they're so damn consistent lately, and just because they're so well able to just create something from nothing. And LDLC, they are a team though that can spring all kinds of surprises on you. They've shown such a diversity, more than any other team, of strategy, tactics, and we'll have to see what they have in store for us here. But I'm certain we're going to be dazzled by them.
Dazzled.
Dazzled.
Well, let us be dazzled. As Fnatic will start on the CT side. That familiar lineup of, or now familiar lineup of pronax, flusha, Olof, KRiMZ, and JW. And each one of them today and over the past few weeks has found their own moment to shine. It really has come together, that lineup. You could argue that maybe that second place in Cologne was a great result for them then, but now they'll be gunning only for firsts. As LDLC lead that charge in, they're going to make their way over towards the B site as they move like a steam train towards it. NBK sitting in the back. flusha gets himself the kill. Bomb goes, takes a lot of damage as flusha. Sorry, bomb gets planted, and you now spy a 5-on-5 after plant. Bit of a rarity there. As the two men deep in the site will click for pronax. Two men outside, two men inside, two frags for Fnatic. Returned by LDLC. Now we're down to just two men aside as shox and Happy will have to defend this plant as pronax tries to go deep to get in there. There's one man in amongst the smoke, and KRiMZ will find him, and Fnatic will get the frags. And they will just get the defuse.
Oh my goodness, that was a little tense there. My heart was pounding a little bit, but that was pretty much an okay result for LDLC, regardless of losing the round. I mean, they were able to get the bomb down, which means just one eco now, which is why we're seeing a limited... Never mind. Never mind. They're actually going to force it up a little bit. And I actually brought it up in the previous matches that they love to do this kind of stuff, so I should have expected it, so that's my bad. But they are going for the investment. One Galil, bunch of nades, and it's going to be a fast hit on the A-bomb site with these nades, and they know their nade placement like nobody else here.
pronax will toss the nade in. Does damage to kioShiMa and shox as pronax pushes forward. SmithZz gets himself that first frag and then returns to favor as it'll be pronax who goes down. They have control of the site. Bomb planted second round in a row. Can Fnatic reclaim second round in a row? It started well with the frag from KRiMZ. As Happy, though, stops any form of momentum being built up with a frag back onto olofm. flusha with a bird's eye view. KRiMZ with a fragging view as SmithZz goes down. 2 versus 2. No Frenchman to be found. And the bomb may just have ticked away long enough now for LDLC. It's last man standing in the back of that site. It is shox, and he will just have done enough here. He's going to be baited out by KRiMZ, but KRiMZ won't be able to get that defused. Nice work as LDLC just played it, by the book. Can't find me.
And to be honest, definitely should have expected this because they've actually won a situation like this before. And if you look at that plan for that round, what it makes you think as well is it gives you the perspective of, oh, that's why they just hit the B site really fast, get the bomb down, because even, like, they can definitely win that pistol round too. But even if they don't, they have a really solid backup. So it's a 1-1 now, and we're seeing the big advantage on the weapons for LDLC. They're looking fantastic.
Let's see what they've got. The token scout is there for Fnatic, and it'll be dropped as KRiMZ gets picked off. Now NBK gets himself the frag onto flusha. JW goes down, and it's a 5-man LDLC charge in towards that B site. And Fnatic finding themselves 3 rounds in a row having to reclaim a bomb site. But olofm, the only man left up.
And sorry, Fnatic did invest quite heavily into this as well, so we're going to be seeing a bit of a poor situation for them. And LDLC are going to have a free round to build up some money. Oh, wow! 2 quick kills there actually coming in. That's pretty nice. He will be able to like take a weapon away, so this could open up quite some possibilities, but still Fnatic, as we saw, they're going to have to eco next round, and LDLC are going to be able to start building that momentum, that bank, and keep throwing Fnatic off, who will be far away from an AWP for a while. So LDLC will have the advantage on the picking game with all the AKs and so on, and they're going to have the advantage just generally speaking. So it's going to take something quite special from Fnatic to actually bring this back in the next couple of rounds.
So let's see what the Swedes have got in the locker. Remember, they win, they qualify for the trip to Milan.
And so far, it is very tentative. The default kind of let's just have a passive, very defensive posture, just in case you guys want to do something crazy. We know that you're desperate right now. We know that your buy is certainly lacking, so we want to be as safe as possible. And if they can get a pick, they can build around from that. And that's what pronax is there for. That mid-round, there's really sick calls mid-round. That's what he does best. Sorry, I say pronax, but we're actually talking about LDLC. So I'm going to just throw that onto shoxy, who is equally as good in some senses in that regard, who is now the caller for LDLC. They've changed caller a few times, and shoxy is currently the caller for them at the moment.
Frag comes in from Happy. Pronax gets dropped after all those compliments he was bestowed. shox follows up and gets himself that frag onto flusha, and LDLC have 5 men armed and dangerous pushing in towards the B site now. SmithZz with the frag onto JW. KRiMZ will follow suit, and now it's olofm 1 on 5. Not happy about it.
This was really well done by LDLC. I mean, it's one of those rounds where you just have to minimize damage, because exactly what Fnatic are looking for. They're not going to have any buy. They themselves have no hope of actually taking the round, so it's all about the damage game for them. And of course, LDLC did their absolute best to avoid that from happening, but we can see olofm is still in action.
And olofm gets himself that kill onto NBK. But
not really the best of times. I mean, it's something, and shox actually might even find the finishing blow. If he can take that AK away, that's a big deal, but Olof is actually going to keep that alive, so that's something. He definitely wants to...
Gets a third. Nice round in the end from olofm, ended up making it very expensive for them. And you can really get in a point where you're trying to do a lot by taking that one AK or that one weapon away, and it can cost you so much. We saw that in the last game with Fiflarum picking up that ace. And they're 3 guns down to all chasing the one.
And now we're seeing JW with the AWP. He's not going to middle or B, so he could play very aggressively down squeaky or through A main, or just hit it very defensively. Looks like it's a defensive setup across the board here for Fnatic, so they're just going to lay in wait for LDLC to make their intentions known, and JW might just find himself an angle shortly.
He has LDLC players ready to come his way. First frag is on to MBC. It has been held back. pronax follows up with a frag onto SmithZz, and the Fnatic side find themselves 3 frags to the good here. What can shox do? Absolutely nothing. kioShiMa, last man standing, and it will be kioShiMa down by pronax. He did get one, and look at that. kioShiMa is sick. Just like olofm as well. I mean, there's something going through. It's CS bowler.
Yeah, they didn't really manage to use their grenades to all that much effect. I mean, we saw some of the players left alive in the last 2 or so with just full grenades. That's actually kind of a crazy reality to see from LDLC. as now they're kind of scrapping together a bit of a buy. Usually on these kinds of buys, we do see fast A hits, but they don't really have any Molotovs, which is quite characteristic of their A take strategies. And
which is a price they're paying for that chase that they had where they lost those 3 guns.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as you say, it does. That is the starting point of something that with Olof being able to so masterfully keep himself alive. So we'll have to see how LDLC try to open up this round. They know that playing against Fnatic on the picks is going to be a very risky game with JW alive with that AWP. They don't. I don't think they know exactly 100% where he is just yet. So okay, that shot is going to tell them where JW is. So this might make them want to actually try to build towards a delayed mid take, which we're seeing now, into a B split.
shox makes his way out and towards mid. They've got guns trained on him, but NBK this time no longer fodder. Gets the first frag of the round for LDLC. It's Olof that is downed. As pronax will race out towards the top, gets himself that kill onto NBK. And do Fnatic have anything in their locker? shox goes through. JW finally strikes him down. And the kioShiMa to supervise the assault in towards B, but all the end he's done is seen the death of Smith. flusha gets the kill. LDLC down 2 men now and running out of bodies as kioShiMa and Happy hit the deck. It is 3-3.
JW best? I don't know, but definitely you could feel the tension there on the A side of the map. They wanted to try to push in there initially, and then when they found out the AWP was there, when they realized the strength that was there, they could do nothing but try to do the delayed mid-take, which is often the resort of a team when they can't quite go for a huge set play. They'll say, okay, we didn't take mid immediately. There should be defensive posture from the CTs. So let's just try and take it away from them. We didn't see a wall of smokes there, which allowed Fnatic to get the kills in before the B split happened. So instead of being able to go 5 on the split towards B, they were 3 players. So that obviously had a huge effect. So great stuff there from the defense of Fnatic. And LDLC not with the best smokes as well in that round.
Now, what you used to see when it was Titan was the #1 French team on the block, NBK used to go and get the org and sit in on mid-roof. He would absolutely love it, and maybe this is the opportunity to mix it up and see whether that can work for him on the T side. Not seen any of it in the opening 7 rounds. And the problem with NBK is he tweeted at me to not troll him, and always I troll him when I cast him.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm like, what can I do?
He was trying to make a thing, wasn't he, for a while, and it just wasn't really working. But he kept trying to force it. But like with the Julies as well, that's like an NBK thing too. Any guy that really buys the Julies a lot. So he keeps trying to make a thing for himself. But
he's got his own thing.
He's pretty good at this game.
He's got the cool hair, and he's got his own things.
He's got the suave French accent. He's a very suave individual.
He's the only, I was going to say he's the only Frenchman to have been on the server in a major final.
Oh dear.
There you go, that's his thing.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, well, I'm going to move away from this a little bit, because I feel sorry for NBK. So I know what trolling you're capable of, so...
No,
never,
no.
right? No, never.
There's NBK, attaboy, gets himself the frag onto KRiMZ. Olofmeister goes down, shox is out for the count, and it'll be 2 players down for Fnatic. NBK looking to make that 3 as he pushes in towards B with the smoke covering off that door. He has but 2 points of health left to go. kioShiMa will dispatch a pronax. flusha is just going to fire in towards that smoke. If he gets a hit, there are 2 players on 2 points of health. There is a lottery to be won. As, it will be JW waiting. Not going to happen. And flusha and JW probably will decide to retreat against the 5 guns. They'll know that there are players tagged, but they won't know quite how low those 2 are. And this could be a good round for LDLC if they can get away with now 4 guns. As NBK is dropped. shoxy is coming through. And look at Happy. He may be able to get himself a back frag onto JW. Bomb about to blow. Will JW have rounded that corner before he gets there? He sees him. And oh, that was his chance.
Uh-oh. If he dies now, that'll be horribly embarrassing. Nope, but it's okay. It's all right. The embarrassment is saved. But that round was a very similar one to the previous one, which LDLC lost, where they went down 3 men. Much better. They had the very defensive posture. They decided to go, okay, we don't have an easy option right now. We didn't find a pick. They didn't go aggressive. Okay, let's try the delayed mid-take. That will give us some options for both sides. They took mid-delayed. They managed to get the good smokes in, and they just NBK opened it up, and they hit the B-split. Simple as that. Good execution, good team play, and LDLC back in the board, back in the game, and they're setting up for an A play here. But 3 through Squeaky, an unusual one for them.
Here comes those smokes and flashes, and it'll be olofm that's just charged down by NBK. Second frag of the game for him, and second frag of the round for him, as he in the end goes down to flusha. But Fnatic having to retake that site with guns trained down towards mid. It's going to be very, very tough for them. And bomb planted with just KRiMZ JW left standing. Make that just JW. He will see sense and get out of there. LDLC will take the lead. It's going to be 5-4.
Do a quick check on the money when JW inevitably dies. There it is. Does fall, and you can see how the money is looking. Okay, so it's starting to really build
Look
for
at flusha
Fnatic.
though.
He's flush with cash.
Hey.
Those are. Oh, I'm sorry.
Nailed it.
Sorry. I feel very dirty about that. That's not good, is it? It's not good.
Great.
All right. Okay, I got someone here that appreciates my terrible humor. This is wonderful. This is the first as well. We should cast more together.
I'm a big fan of bad jokes.
I was shaming myself, but I realized I'm amongst my own kind. Alright, well again, a very tentative round for LDLC as they do try to look for the options. And we're seeing that the usual picking setup from them. This is just one of those default rounds. And they, if Fnatic were to go aggressive, then LDLC have a good setup to deal with it. And so far, Fnatic holding, very passive. And we're seeing now Happy ready to actually cause a bit of distraction here at Squeaky. So, but JW will take down kioShiMa. Happy tries to create a response there, but JW is just going huge there with 3 kills. So, yeah, there's not much left to be done in this round unless shox and NBK can come out with something huge.
They can't write either of those 2 players off, though. 2 on 5. What can they deliver? JW looking for frag number 4. shox is going to get himself that kill onto pronax. And look at that, JW down to just 9 points of health. And olofm does down shox. And it's all on NBK.
Now,
Gets that next one onto olofm, but look at the time. 30 seconds left to go. What's he going to be able to do? Not much. flusha will drop him, and it's 5-5.
And one of the kind of more advanced concepts is like a similar concept as you were mentioning before, like setting up those trade frag situations. This Happy was going for a bit more of an advanced one there, where your team suffers a loss and it's for free. But the theory is that it can never be for free, because then your opponents are getting ahead, and you're not able to do anything about it. And so in the confusion of that first pick from JW, he saw the shot go off. He tried to make something happen. But actually, looks like they're going in with a really fast play here onto it on the A side.
pronax gets himself that first frag as the LDLC side come charging on in. kioShiMa and Happy both get themselves a kill as they take a momentary lead, but JW never far away from the action. He is ready to strike down upon that site with great anger and furious vengeance as he clears out. But Happy is the man who will be down next. It's flusha and olofm going for frag after frag. And that'll be the end of LDC. 6-5 Fnatic will take it, and we just go round for round at the moment.
Yeah, it seems like LDLC can't quite find something that works consistently, and this is really good news for Fnatic, obviously, as they have been kind of in a weird position money-wise. We saw flusha had loads of cash, but the rest of them were quite poor. Now it's actually leveling out, and they are looking a lot better. Obviously, olofm does have to rebuy the AWP, so that's pretty expensive. So that's still going to put LDLC in a position where, well, they're not going to want to buy. They could have forced it, but so they don't know exactly, I think, the position of Fnatic here. And it wouldn't have been the smartest thing in the world, considering the double AWP setup coming in to play here. Although, if they were to hit a very fast play with smokes, grenades, Molotovs, as they have shown us on the A side in particular, could be very effective here. AWP shot to the head, also effective.
It is a good way of dispatching of your enemies. pronax looking through that squeaky door where Happy is on the other side and dancing to Pharrell.
I like that. That was very sly. I'll give you that one.
I paid him to laugh. NBK waiting. That's a tough round when you've got 5 players, but LDLC, the man disadvantage and no real sight of a Fnatic player until just then. And they lose some health in the process. In fact, they lose NBK in the process. And they'll follow out, and Fnatic will build a 2-round cushion as the score eats its way in their favor. 13 rounds down, and they are 7-5, or into the 13th round, and they are 7-5 up.
Now they know that there are 2 orbs here for Fnatic. And Fnatic obviously adopting this setup now, as they do have that power from JW, obviously their dedicated AWP, but also Olof, fantastic AWP player. And this map has shown great results from teams like Titan.
They're looking for the NBK position. Saw JW going there, and they're looking for that. They've seen it so many times on this map, NBK jump up there, but he's holding back. But I know him. I know that he wants to get on that roof. It's where he feels truly free.
They're going to go for this push, I think. It's going to be coming in quite quickly now. Let's see if Fnatic can deal with this.
KRiMZ goes in, gets himself first, and the NBK opens up the fragging and cleans out that first man. Returned by flusha, and he will go in as pronax is now waiting to lead that slide in. flusha returns, JW and flusha combine, and they get 2 each, and that is the end of that. Fnatic now have a 3-round cushion.
I'm really surprised, I gotta say, because I mean, we're used to seeing so many well-constructed plays onto the A-bomb site from LDLC, but so far, every time that we've seen it, and in the previous round they had enough money to buy all the grenades they need, including all of the 3 Molotovs that they usually use for that set play. They had the money for it, but they just didn't use it. They've been changing it up, using less grenades, and just pushing and relying more on individual skill as opposed to well-coordinated, rehearsed setups. So I'm quite surprised that LDLC aren't using their bread and butter stuff so far against Fnatic, as even if Fnatic know it's coming, it should be still as effective.
What would you change if you were LDLC?
Well, I would,
how do you defeat this double AWP setup?
Well, that is a great way to do it. I mean, there's very fast set plays on the bomb sites, and EA is most susceptible to that. And LDLC in the past have shown the most proficient set play for that, where you're able to smoke them off, chuck the fire in. Every single player knows exactly where he runs in the chaos, and this basically eliminates the angles for the AWP. It puts them in a very pressive situation and puts them behind loads of smoke. So it usually is very effective in dealing with that.
2 frags for Fnatic as kioShiMa and NBK go down. Next man to follow will be shox, and well, Fnatic have really found another gear in the past few rounds. This will be 4 in a row, I think. And they're just starting to look good. They're just starting to look really impressive. Yeah,
and the usual power that you would definitely look to LDLC for, it would be the T side. This is a CT sided map, generally speaking, but LDLC have been one of the teams to break the mold, break the meta a little bit with some of their very advanced strategies. Another way to play against the double AWP is very nice smoke setups on middle, and we're not seeing too much of that either. So they're relying right now on players like NBK to get those picks and shox, but so far they're not coming too quickly.
Don't seem to be coming at all as flusha and KRiMZ help themselves to frags. NBK and kioShiMa both go down, and shox joins the party. Fnatic are charging into a 5-round half-time lead, and this LDLC T side started oh so brightly. Despite losing the pistol, they were able to come back, and we were going round for round. We were at 5-5 at one point. That hasn't ended that way. SmithZz, last man standing, up against 4 who are lying in wait for him. Just get the first 2. KRiMZ and olofm go down. If he pulls this off, I'll eat my hat.
You don't have a hat.
And he didn't pull it off.
Right, well, I guess we'll never see where you would have produced the hat from, because I don't see one right now. And I don't take you for a liar, Stuart, so
no.
Upstanding.
I would have eaten it.
Upstanding. You would have found one and eaten one. Well, I have to say, as you mentioned, it was quite shocking when we saw the first few rounds. Despite they lost the pistol round, we could see how well thought out their game was. But then, as we start to get into the middle of that first half, things started to really fall apart, and it seemed like there was a lot of indecision. And it's not the same. It's not the same LDLC that I have been seeing recently.
Well, maybe this scoreline is reflecting their their standing in the league, which is not high at the moment. They need the points.
One thing I should quickly mention though, 10-5 is actually fine, as it is like around a 10-5 season match.
NBK gets himself that first frag. It's olofm who goes down. NBK, I'll ask you about him in a minute. He has to lead the assaults much more than he used to do in Titan. And pronax is going to get stopped as he was putting that bomb down. Big hit from Happy there right at the crucial moment. Bomb eventually planted, but there are only 2 Fnatic men left up to defend it. And they will go about dispatching of shox. Fnatic need this here, and they've got 1 man on just 1 point of health. JW needs to make himself hard to hit. stay back. Can he get that next kill? Oh, almost. It's 2 versus 2 still to go. JW point blank headshot. kioShiMa down. 2-on-1. Smiths 21 points of health. Can he pull LDLC back into this game? JW says no. And Fnatic get themselves the pistol round. And they will go into an 11-5 lead.
Oh no, this can't quite happen for LDLC if you're a fan of them. But triple scout, I need to work on a triple scout jingle.
Yeah, like a
I need
siren.
Something. It needs an announcement as a presence is realized on the server. It needs an announcement here. We're going to see this coming in from LDLC. They're going to pick away at ranges. But if Fnatic figure it out, the best reaction is to all combine and hit one angle together. That's very effective. Just use one smoke. Then the scouts can't do enough. They just have to pick away at you at range. That's the best usage of a scout. And if you can deny that, then it's smooth sailing.
Not for flusha though. Dropped by the headshot of shox. I wanted to ask you about NBK. In this role for LDLC, he's having to be the lead man. He's the one that either gets the first frag or gets the first death. He's got the talent to be the entry guy, but is that the best use of his talents?
It's certainly a very interesting point, but all right, okay, so it's an interesting point. I mean, NBK, Foreign would say, that this guy, he always felt like he could be the star player. He could be the star player, but he just never put himself in that role. He just never ended up in that role. And we have seen that from him. He's a great entry fragger. He finds opportunities. He's great at the picking game. This guy is certainly coming into his own with LDLC. And I feel, with players to back him up like, shox and kioShiMa, I actually feel like he's kind of where he should be at the moment with this team.
Let's just jump back into this as there are... a decision was made quite early on that they weren't going to go for the retake on that one. They were going to keep those 3 scouts alive, despite the fact they had the man advantage.
3 scouts, they're precious. You got to treat the scouts well, and they will treat you well.
Well, we'll see whether that's the case in this next round. It's not like a direwolf or something that will actually then go and help you and save your life.
It won't mature. It would just still be a scout. It would just.
Yeah, it's not a Pokemon. It doesn't evolve. No. I'm trying to see where you're going with that one, but struggling.
Well, I mean, the theory with the scouts, I mean, usually on maps like Mirage, you can have some really interesting uses to them, but interesting to note that JW and pronax still on really crappy weapons, so this would be very interesting if LDLC can use that.
NBK, big hit, drop pronax, cost him his life, but he'll happily take that trade, and that 3 scout defense from the CT side may just be enough as that go through. Bomb is quickly planted though in on that A site. Scout frag number 1 from SmithZz, and if they line up nicely, the scouts are the perfect weapon to retake that site. But a little bit of smoke and hiding deep in the side, and there will be no way back for them. shox gets dropped. KRiMZ with the frag. Fnatic 3-on-3 to take this to round number to take their tally to 13 as Olof connects onto SmithZz, and this should just about be it for them. And unlike TDK's predictions, the scouts did not go from Charmander to Charizard. They did not save them, and LDLC still stuck on 5.
Yeah, this is incredibly awkward because they want to be on at least a single orb. They really do. I mean, Fnatic have so much advantage on the picking game. So, and Fnatic are, I mean, arguably the best team at the moment at the picking game. So, LDLC, it's hard to really approach that because that's something that's what they know that this is something that they're thinking about. This team's very scary on the picks. You want to challenge them too heavily. So this is why we're seeing a more passive game from LDLC. But also, quick aggression would be good. But KRiMZ just got a pick through Squeaky, and that is unreturned. And this just cannot happen for LDLC.
13-5. Man advantage Fnatic and a buy round from LDLC. If there's nothing coming back out of this, then there may be very little left in the tank.
Looks like the threat is continued here by KRiMZ. He's just keeping a threat level high on A, and that's going to try to keep, if there is players there, to just make them stay there instead of going for a gamble.
It's kioShiMa who gets that next death for LDLC. JW gets it. Next one, SmithZz and JW and Fnatic just going through the motions here. They look really good at the moment here at this side, and NBK is the only man that stands between LDLC and that A site, and he's gone down. shox is going to lead the one to probably decide, actually, I prefer my life, and will hold out with the weapon. But it's going to go to 14 here, and Fnatic look unstoppable at the moment.
Look
So
at this money.
I challenge you again. How do you stop this Fnatic now T-side?
Well, that's the thing. The thing is they need bank. They don't have bank. This is the problem. This is why usually it's so important to keep heavy tabs and pressure on the opponent's economy, especially against the CT side. They just can't match the picking power of Fnatic right now. They don't have the money to bring in the AWPs to play. They don't have the rounds or the money to even play for, to do huge risks. Right now they're kind of stuck for options. They couldn't be without less options. And for me, it's a bad day to be 1/4 French.
Well, they've... oh, that's great. They've gone for a 4 Famas and a scout buy on this one, because if they lose this round, it is match point. And remember, Fnatic just edging closer to qualification. And Hofmeister sits pretty, and Fnatic sit pretty. Win this round or not, they're in the driving seat. Let's see what they have to offer. It's flusha who lies in wait. The picking game that DDK mentioned is just this. You see that yellow silhouette looking around the corner. They're just trying to find a blue LDLC body just to dispatch of. And JW had the first glimpse of one there as he made that crossover. They know the corners that they'll be hiding in. There's nothing new here, but the question is, will someone show for it? And there it is. The first person to show is SmithZz, and he shows with a vengeance. Drops JW. flusha followed suit before SmithZz was down. kioShiMa has frag number 3, though, as that famous power dispatches of Olofmeister. KRiMZ and pronax, though, having none of this French revival, and they will look to clean them out. kioShiMa is there, and bomb goes down with KRiMZ getting the frag on the shox. It's 1 versus 1. Can that famous go any further? No, it can't, and it is 15-5. pronax sets up 10 match points.
Oh, I wanted it so bad. I wanted it to be game on for LDLC, but it looks like despair once more. So we're going to see some kind of a buy scrapped together. They are forfeiting grenades completely, and we can see once again they haven't been able to find pressure. They're just waiting back for Fnatic to do it, to go out and do something. They don't want to peek because they know they're going to get just crushed by JW or someone like that, or Olofmeister. So they wait for them to come to them. But LDLC, they need to go aggressive. They need to take a risk and get lucky.
2 frags for Fnatic, just that 1 NBK response. That'll be shots fired. KRiMZ down to 14 points of health. You don't think he knew where from.
They do have middle control now, and this is quite key for Fnatic. As from this mid control, they can do anything. And LDLC have 3 players for 2 sites, so this is very diabolical here for Fnatic.
shox against that first frag. JW only has 1 point of health, but that's enough to get that return onto shox. And not impossible based on the healths here, but kioShiMa and NBK going to have to hold on. NBK going to have to hold on as the bomb goes down. He's 1 on 2. That's a fully healthed Olofmeister. And 1 point of health JW as the bomb ticks. This for the game. Can NBK do anything about it? Down to just 10 points of health. JW completes his hat-trick. 2 of those dispatched with just 1 point of health. And Fnatic have just swept aside LDLC 16 rounds to 5. A great performance from the Swedes. And we have seen 4 consecutive Swedish victories over French sides tonight.
Not a good day to be 1/4 French.
Not a good day to be a 1/4 French, but hey, you'll never lose your vavavoom to me.
I know, right? But the thing is, about this, is that we didn't get to see LDLC play.
It didn't really show up, or?
Well, no, I mean, they didn't really get to play CT. They lost the pistol, they went 10-5. That's okay, going 10-5 is kind of okay. It's a bit like Nuke in that sense. I wouldn't say it's quite a 10-5 sided map, as Nuke tends to be. I'd say it's a little bit closer to something like 9-6 or something, but at the same time, they could totally have gotten into the game, but we saw that the problem was that their money could never get going, and they were constantly pressured, and they never felt like they could do anything. They never felt like they had the buffer of money or rounds to take risks, and that's something that they do very well, but they couldn't do that at all, and they had no options at all. It was quite sad for them.
I think we're going to take a look at the league table, though.
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting quite depressed over here. I'm like, what could they have done?
It's happy reading, though, if you're a Fnatic fan.
Absolutely. Fnatic played amazingly. as always.
I was jumping to the league table a little too early, so I'm going to notice something that's distracted me, and it might have distracted the other viewers as well. This notepad you have.
Oh dear.
This is the world's most neatest handwriting I have ever seen. It's ridiculous. But as I take a look on this, and it says, Titan, Fnatic, Dust 2, gives some maps and some notes that he's taken. Then I look on the back, and it says the solar system. And if you read this carefully, it gives you the radius of each planet, the mass of each planet.
I haven't seen that, actually.
Distance from... What on earth have you been doing
I
during the
just
games?
picked it up. I got it from a shop, and I was sold. When I saw the mass of these planets, I was completely sold. I was like, this is worth it. This is worth this price. I'll take that. I went in expecting something to write with, but instead I was pleasantly surprised with numerous stats about the solar system.
So you bought a second-hand notepad?
I absolutely did. That's the best. That's the best kind of notepad. You never know what you'll find. All the wisdom that lies in the minds of others.
Well,
what if it was an aspiring novelist? He threw out a good novel idea.
Could be.
You just never know, Stuart.
Is there anything else good in there, or should we look at the league table?
Well, it's not exactly safe for the stream, I'm afraid.
Oh. Sorry, guys. We're going to have to look at the league table. Let's look and bask in Fnatic's glory as they are top of the table with played 10, won 9, lost just 1, 27 points. They are in an unassailable position now because with some only 8 games to be played per team. No, sorry, 7 games to be played per team. And they have, 14 games played per team.
Exactly,
they have but 4 games left next week that they will play. The 4th place team, which is Virtus, or the 5th place team, which is LDLC, can't claim back those round points. Dignitas still, with a lot of games to catch up on, have a spanner to throw in the works if either Titan or Virtus.pro are feeling comfortable. And there's a lot of CS left to be played in Super Week next week.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be really fun. I hope you can find some time to join us. I'm not sure, you're very busy.
I think I'm joining you on Wednesday.
That's awesome.
I think. Maybe.
That's not good enough. We need answers here.
Well,
people need to know.
Well, if the question was what's the radius of Mercury or Jupiter, I know where to find the answer.
It's right here. It's right here, guys.
Right, you've got more CS to come tonight, though. I'm leaving, but you've got more to go.
Why don't you just stay with us till 5 a.m?
Because I'll be back here in this office in about 10 hours or so.
All right. Well, we'll have to let you go then. That's your loss. But remember, guys. I mean, you're a fan of Italy, aren't you? You love Italian, all things Italian.
Magnifico.
Okay, sell Italy.
Sell Italy.
And then sell Italy first of all.
Great food, great weather, beautiful architecture. Big Counter-Strike tournament there in about, 3-4 weeks' time?
Wine.
Sold it.
Wine.
And
many other delights. So there you go. Stuart's selling you Italy. Well, you have a chance to go there and experience what it's like to attend Milan Games Week and just witness the FACEIT League LAN finals. You can be one of those lucky few if you're able to be the top of the... You need skill. You got to have skill. You got to grind those games, get the most points. If you're number 1 on the leaderboard. If you are the most boring, no. If you're number 1 on the leaderboard, you will get yourself that prize, and the hotel that you'll be staying in will be the hotel that all the players, all the people working at the event will be staying at as well. So you'll get all the chance for autographs or anything you want.
You can make a special request to stay in DDK's room if you want.
You can certainly you can do that. You can make a request,
which is pretty impressive.
It is. Why
did you know about that?
I didn't know about that. But usually, I'm used to these Italians. They troll me all the time. So
this isn't troll. This is truth.
All right. Well, we're gonna have to have some words off camera then.
Getting word that there are some jealous players who want you in their room with you instead. So we'll find out. Anyway,
it's time to close the stream out, guys. Thanks again for joining us here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed all the matches, and we'll see you next time.